Welcome to us. Who do you think would win in a fight between Doomsday and Lobo? The creature known as Doomsday, as named by Booster Gold, is an artificial entity created in the distant past on the planet Krypton, from a time when Kryptonian humans did not yet rule the planet. At that time, Krypton was a violent and harsh planet, where only the strongest creatures could survive. The creatures that ruled the planet were considered to be among the most dangerous species in the universe. The person responsible for creating Doomsday was an alien scientist named Bertron, with the ambition of developing the ultimate life form. Doomsday is known for his unparalleled abilities, having defeated Superman many times and becoming a nightmare for any enemy. Remember to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon and turn on notifications to see the earliest videos. Thank you. To carry out his plan, Bertron and his team repeatedly sent a child to the surface of the planet Krypton, where it was quickly destroyed by the harsh environment or the violent creatures that inhabited it. After each time, any signs of life from the child would be collected and reused to create a new, more powerful version. Using cloning, Bertron accelerated the creature's evolution to an incredible extent. Over decades of experimentation, the creature that would become Doomsday suffered thousands of painful deaths. The memories of those countless deaths were etched into his genome, causing him to harbor a deep hatred for all life. Eventually, Doomsday gained the ability to evolve against whatever killed him in his previous life without the need for Bertron's technology. At this point, he began hunting down and killing all dangerous creatures that lived on Krypton. Upon seeing Bertron, Doomsday viewed him and his team as a threat due to their role in his many deaths and attacked the ship they were working on. Bertron himself met his own demise at the hands of his own creation. Doomsday escaped from Krypton and began wreaking havoc across multiple planets. He landed on Bylon 5, a planet where Darkseid was preparing to marry a princess in order to secure access to chemical deposits vital to Apocalypse's weapons production. As Doomsday and Darkseid were about to face off in a fierce battle, Darkseid was forced to retreat. The fierce battle had left the planet's atmosphere toxic, rendering it useless to Apocalypse. Meanwhile, Doomsday took advantage of the opportunity to escape on a shuttle leaving the planet. The shuttle eventually crashed into Kundia. The warring Kundian clans unite to create protective armor for a warrior named Kobold. His goal is to survive long enough to force Doomsday onto a rocket. Once the rocket is in space, Doomsday kills Kobold, and the resulting explosion sends him hurtling into space. He then comes across a Green Lantern named Jaron Pell. Doomsday took his power ring and, sensing the power of the Guardians of the Universe, advanced on them. Hundreds of Green Lanterns were sent to stop him and were killed. He continued to Oa, where a single Guardian sacrificed himself in battle to defeat him. With Doomsday dead, the Guardians turned their attention to rebuilding the core. In reality, the Guardians' massive energy release created a tear in space, leaving Doomsday severely injured and unconscious. He drifted to Calaton, where he ravaged the planet for 3 years, leaving destruction everywhere except the capital. In a last-ditch effort to protect the planet, Calaton's royal family merged their life forces to create an energy entity known as the Radiant. With a massive energy blast, the Radiant defeated Doomsday, destroying over a fifth of the planet in the process. In accordance with traditional Kryptonian burial rites, Doomsday's body was chained, blindfolded, and launched into space as punishment for a murderer. He eventually landed on Earth, and the violent impact drove his coffin deep into the ground. However, Doomsday never truly died. Each time he was killed, he would return, having evolved to surpass whatever had defeated him before. The death of Superman. In their first encounter with the Justice League, shortly after emerging from the ground, Doomsday overpowered the entire team of superheroes in a matter of minutes, drawing Superman's attention. Amazingly, Doomsday fought with one hand tied behind his back, yet easily overcame all resistance and caused widespread destruction. Of the Justice League members, only Maxima was able to hold her own against him. It was during this confrontation that the name Doomsday was coined by Booster Gold, who found his brutality to be similar to a true Doomsday. This appealed to his bloodlust and thus lured the mindless creature towards the city. By counterattacking, Superman quickly realized that his opponent's monstrous power was on par with his own. And so he realized that if Doomsday did indeed reach Metropolis, the ensuing battle could destroy the city and kill millions of innocents. At the same time, Doomsday developed a strong desire to kill Superman in particular. That desire was later explained as the pain of constantly dying during his creation. Doomsday had developed in his genes the ability to sense anyone who was a Kryptonian, coupled with an overwhelming instinct to view any such being as an automatic threat. However, it remains unexplained why Doomsday did not react with this particular malice towards cyborg Superman, who clearly possessed Kryptonian DNA. Doomsday and Superman engaged in a fierce battle, which left Superman realizing that the creature would never stop attacking, showing no signs of fatigue or surrender. Despite being severely wounded and exhausted, Superman continued to fight, sacrificing himself to protect Metropolis. The battle culminated in both opponents delivering final blows, simultaneously delivering fatal blows to each other. As a result, both Superman and Doomsday collapsed, unconscious, in front of the Daily Planet building, where the fight came to a dramatic conclusion. After Superman's apparent death, no less than 4 Supermen emerged after him, 2 of whom claimed to be the real Superman. One of the 4, a half-man, half-machine who bore a striking resemblance to Superman, and later became a dangerous villain known simply as the Cyborg, captured Doomsday's seemingly dead body. After strapping the creature to an asteroid equipped with an electronic device, a device later revealed to be a backup of the Cyborg's nature, Cyborg threw Doomsday into deep space, on a trajectory that was supposedly guaranteed to never intersect with any other planets. Eventually, after passing through a wormhole, Doomsday's asteroid was accidentally found by a deep space junk collector. After further examining the strange-looking drifting rock, the crew of the ship retrieved the object in the hopes of finding something of value. The junk collector happened to be en route to Apocalypse. Doomsday has fully rested, and after slaughtering the crew of the rescue ship, finds himself landing on this harsh world. This is the preparation for the final battle between Doomsday and Superman, also resurrected during this time, who is worried about the possibility of Doomsday resurrecting. With the help of JLA liaisons, Superman acquires the Mother Box, a thinking computer, after Darkseid's servant Daysad contacts Earth about a problem on Apocalypse. Remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon and turn on notifications to see the earliest videos. Thank you. Little does Superman know that Doomsday has faced and defeated Darkseid himself in single combat, even surviving Darkseid's legendary Omega Beam, and is wreaking havoc on Apocalypse. Likewise, Superman cannot kill Doomsday more than once. Superman, despite knowing this, became obsessed with stopping Doomsday and traveled to Krypton. He fought Doomsday again with the aid of the Mother Box, but despite it providing him with additional weapons such as a sonic blaster and an energy sword, Superman was defeated. He was forced to use one of the Waverider's time travel devices to leave Doomsday stranded at the end of time, where Doomsday encountered a force to which he could never adapt: entropy. Doomsday's skeleton was recovered by Lex Luthor, and his body was reconstructed using Superman's Kryptonian DNA. Luthor then handed Doomsday over to Darkseid, who assisted in recovering, repairing, and upgrading Doomsday in order to repay Earth's war debt with Apocalypse. By this time, Doomsday had developed intelligence and self-awareness. To prove that Doomsday is working well, Luthor arranges for the Joker to release the destructive creature in Washington, D.C., on the anniversary of Superman's sacrifice to stop Doomsday. Although Superman is weakened by exposure to kryptonite, a result of Luthor's attempt to exploit Doomsday's Kryptonian origins, he is revived by Black Lightning, who reboots his heart. Superman arrives to fight Doomsday just as the monster confronts Martian Manhunter. Learning from John that Doomsday wanted to kill Luthor because he blamed Luthor for his death in the Imperiex War, Superman defeated the creature by using his newfound sentience and intelligence against him. While Superman continued to take everything Doomsday threw at him and then defeated him for good, he explained how he did it. In the New 52, a reboot of the DC Comics universe, Doomsday officially appeared in September 2013 as part of the Villains Month event. In Batman Superman number 3.1, Doomsday attacked Krypton many years ago, when Lara was serving as a lieutenant in the elite military academy. Colonel Zod confronted him in an ancient suit of armor, originally crafted by Krypton's founding warriors. The fierce battle resulted in the deaths of thousands of Kryptonians. Zod appears to have won and imprisoned Doomsday in the Phantom Zone. Years later, while imprisoned in the Phantom Zone himself, General Zod converses with a young girl, Kara Zor-El. He expresses admiration for the destructive creature, viewing its destructive capabilities as a trait he wishes to instill in his people, as he believes that continued complacency has weakened the Kryptonians. Doomsday will seek out and fight the last knight to save his people, but must sacrifice his own life to do so. In Superman Wonder Woman, Doomsday mysteriously appears in the North Atlantic and battles Wonder Woman, breaking her arm before disappearing into thin air. After describing his attacker to Superman, the two travel to the Fortress of Solitude, where Diana identifies Doomsday on the Phantom Zone viewer. Superman deduces that the walls of the Phantom Zone are collapsing, allowing Doomsday to escape briefly. Months later, the creature once again escapes from the Phantom Zone to wreak havoc across the world, mutating into an even more deadly form. Now, every living thing in its vicinity dies, and even physical structures collapse. Superman, Wonder Woman, Steel, and the Justice League struggle to defeat it, even calling in Lex Luthor for help. Eventually, Superman drags Doomsday's body to the planet Venus and incinerates it. Believing Doomsday to be dead, Superman returns to Earth, only to watch in horror as the creature teleports to Earth. Finally realizing that he has no choice, Superman kills Doomsday, cutting the monster in half, and as it disintegrates, he inhales its ash-like remains to contain them in his indestructible body. However, he soon begins to change, mentally showing signs of increased stress and aggression, and gradually physically becoming more and more similar to Doomsday. It is revealed that Doomsday was released by the Phantom King, Zod, at the instigation of Brainiac. The latter orchestrated it to eliminate Superman as he prepared to assimilate the consciousnesses of all humans in the world. However, Superman was able to control Doomsday's power and rage long enough to attack and defeat Brainiac's massive mothership, dragging it into a black hole, freeing himself from Doomsday's infection in the process. Doomsday was created through the process of cloning. The clones were subsequently killed multiple times by some of the most dangerous species in the universe in one of the most inhospitable habitats of all living things, prehistoric Krypton. Through cloning technology, the infant repeatedly revived and evolved, becoming resistant or immune to whatever had previously killed it, eventually gaining the ability to regenerate and evolve indefinitely without the need for technology. After the Radiant killed it the first time they fought, Doomsday became immune to the Radiant's energy projection and even withstood Darkseid's full Omega effect. The amount of damage inflicted on Doomsday determined how long it took for him to fully recover. In his seemingly unscathed death at the hands of Superman, he recovered in just a few days, but when Imperiex reduced him to a skeleton, it took months. His burial in a Kryptonian burial suit and metal vault lasted hundreds of millennia. After being killed by the Radiant, and then subjected to the effects of the Earth coffin, his body was sealed underground in complete darkness. Deprived of the solar energy needed to nourish his Kryptonian body, he can only regenerate extremely slowly and naturally. Doomsday has an extremely rapid healing factor that allows him to quickly recover from most injuries. When his hip was severed by Superman with a plasma sword, it closed within minutes. Due to his technique, Doomsday does not need to eat, drink, breathe, or sleep, and his body is essentially a solid mass with no internal organs. Doomsday possesses extreme superhuman strength, although it is variable, but at one point he was able to easily hold his own against the entire Justice League, including Superman and Orion. He was able to break Superman's left arm with little effort, as well as defeat and knock out Darkseid in battle. However, his power has its limits. The incredibly strong Kryptonian alloy cables in which he was embedded continued to restrain him somewhat during his initial rampage on Earth, with the last cable only being destroyed when the Justice League launched an all-out attack to try and stop him. It is never stated how long he struggled to free his left hand before escaping. What do you think of this fight? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you all very much.